Welcome back once again to Domain Gaming and Blades in the Dark. What happens in the Dusk? Now, before getting into the game properly, it's probably worth mentioning that Wyverian has taken a little bit of time to get the Patreon going. So if you are able to give us some help there, with that you get a lot of the artwork that we use that's released on a monthly basis with so many images, and that's for a month only, and then it gets replaced. So the longer that you stay, the longer you get more artwork, and the more artwork you get, and that's for use in your own games, and saves you and your players the trouble of having to trawl the internet or create your own if you, like me, are not particularly artistically gifted. And on top of that as well, you'll get these videos early. So when they go out live, they obviously drop off the site for a bit and then they'll be uploaded later. On the Patreon, you get them pretty much straight away, that you can go back and watch anything that you missed. Because I realised that, especially for viewers in the US, this is probably a really, really inhospitable time, and probably not the thing that you're going to be waking up for, especially at a weekend. So jump on Patreon, catch the videos straight after they go out on YouTube. But with that in mind, and let's bring everything back to the present and with what happens in the Dusk. So last time, a rather mismatched group was formed to investigate the goings-on that has unravelled over the last few months of Duskfall as a virulent plague has spread throughout the city, leading to regions being locked down and quarantined, and with curfews in effect. And while some of those involved are on side of the law, with one warden initiate and a blue coat, the others were from a more criminal background and have been offered a chance as part of a plea deal to reduce a sentence, and in one instance undo that which they had a part in creating. First investigation led them to a house in Crowsfoot, which was full of bodies that had been hosts at one time for a swarm of rats, which could be seen in where the floor had collapsed in the lower basement, and the bodies themselves being used to incubate the live young. And where we left it, with the sound of footsteps from a floor above. And with that, let's jump right back in. So, Caroline, Raggy, Battered Crow, and Sasha, Wyatt. What are you doing?
I'm gonna turn to Battered Crow and I'm gonna ask, were we expecting company?
I would say at this point, Battered Crow probably just shakes their head. No.
I take out my, what's that called? Baton truncheon?
Yep.
Yep. I know what my equipment is.
And Caroline.
Yeah. Karen's going to walk back behind the other two for cover.
As you duck into a very, very shadowy, darkened corner, you're aware of the large frame of Dusk, who takes a step to mirror your movements, and as you do, he looks at you, a moment of panic in his eyes as the floor gives way beneath him.
I'm assuming the floor giving way is causing a very large amount of noise.
There's an initial creak and then a crash, yeah, as he lands below the kicks up. Dust of where it's lain undisturbed for years, like in all likelihood.
If Caroline looks like she's any sort of precariously positioned, like she might go down, Battered Crow's going to quickly throw out a hand to, grab a hold of her so she doesn't go down with Baz.
Let's make a fortune roll. I'm going to say you can do this as an assisted action or a group action as you feel the floor bow beneath you. Caroline.
Yay! So it's a fortune roll, or do I have to roll it?
You can make a roll and you can assist if you wish, or you can do it as a group action. That's to Battered Crow.
Sorry, I have weird skills. I think might be a control question mark. Let me make sure.
Maneuver, maybe?
You'd
maneuver, athletic movement, control, manage a situation, crowd a person by direct orders, a show of force, or intimidation tactics. Yeah, it probably would be maneuver. Ooh, I have no dots in maneuver.
so you can obviously push yourself for an additional die there, or you can roll 2 and take the lowest. But obviously, you could do this as a group action. Just decide who's leading.
I can lead. I can take the stress if I fail. And
yep. So you've got to roll the same thing, and unfortunately, those aren't the same. So it probably
it would probably be it would be prowl. It would make them
prowl. Yes. So Caroline, if you want to roll prowl, and Battered Crow, if you would like to roll maneuver.
Risky standard?
I'd say so, yes.
Alright. Well, I'm taking at least one stress.
Oh, yeah. Would you like to push yourself?
YOLO. Nah, I'm going for it. See, because here's the thing. If I push myself, that's going to be a total of 4 stress if I don't come out on top.
Yeah,
Boy.
just
Yeah.
live on the edge. 0 dots.
0 dots. And it's a 3.
Ah,
I mean,
As-
at least we are consistent.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just threes. In fact, no more rolls. We'll just assume they're all threes from this point on. As you throw your hand out, as your fingers just brush against one another's, as Caroline begins to feels the floor give where she stands. Caroline, would you like to resist?
Yes.
Okay, make me a prowess. Oh, okay, so you take 2 stress as you are thrown, catching yourself on the edge, and your fingers digging into the wood, and you feel it begin to, where it just digs in, slightly old, slightly damp. Your feet dangling over the gap below.
Help! Please.
I help.
Anyone can help. Give me a desperate action.
Oh.
Yeah,
Would
like
this be subdue? Would this be the same?
I think this would be still a maneuver. Subdues are
Still a
more.
maneuver. Yeah.
Yeah. So true. Okay. I'll 0 dots. Okay.
Oh boy.
We are not athletic.
Oh, this desperate?
Yes.
It's desperate. Yeah.
What standard?
Standard effects. Yes.
So true.
Oh
So
my.
true.
Oh my. Oh my. A 6 and a
As-
1.
As you throw yourself forward, and the two of you fall as everything just gives way. Ragged Crow, Battered Crow, able to jump backwards. Sorry, that's a production company. Ragged Crow. So no similarities intended. Battered Crow, you jump backwards as the entire room up to the doorway pretty much falls away in front of you. Sasha and Caroline, you land with heavy thud on the floor below you. As Sasha, you look down and see a large shard of wood which has pierced through your abdomen from below. Would you like to take armor or resist? Because this is going to be nasty. Or would you like to do both?
I'll do a resist.
So a
Armor.
resist. Sorry.
How does armor work?
Armor is obviously an item of load, but it will reduce the effects by 1 tier. But you could take heavy armor as well, and that will reduce it by 2 levels. So.
Okay.
But of course.
Yeah, I'll do armor. I'll do both.
So.
Both.
But of course, heavy armor is also 5 load.
Yeah, puts you up to 5 load.
And regular armor is 2.
So true.
However, with both armors, you can completely negate any damage.
Okay. Wait, so I can do armor and
Resist.
a resistance roll? Yeah.
And so the regular armor and the resistance roll will leave you with a level 1 harm.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. So maybe that resistance check on prowess or depth. No, it's not. It's
Force.
Might Scorn?
Yeah.
Or, well, mine.
Force, yeah.
It's called Scorn.
The
for
middle
me.
one.
It's force.
Is
yeah.
it the middle? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the middle one.
So
Yes.
true.
So-
Okay. So true.
Oh, nice. You take
I thought that
one
was
stress.
double
No,
Okay.
you take 1 stress as you feel there's blood. It's nasty, but it's gone through skin as you sit there, as you lie there for a moment. there is another layer between you and that huge rat swarm. Fortunately, they are not swarming over you, but there's a. You're aware that as you check everything, no vital organs have been pierced. It's superficial, but it will bleed a lot. So I'd like to take a level 1 harm of pierced side.
Lovely.
Caroline, while not as egregious, you still land heavily. Would you like to take armor or resist?
Wasn't this what
Uh,
her original roll was for?
The original roll, sorry. Yeah.
She resisted.
She resisted.
That was to stop falling.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Then I failed.
Can I do like Sasha?
Sorry.
Can
You do
I
it like-
can I do like
She does it like
Sasha?
Oh yes, yeah. You can take armor and resist. However, the you don't have the. So that will completely negate all damage because yours would have been a level 2 harm.
Okay.
Because Sasha did a desperate action, so it raises the stakes that little bit more. So yes, please make me that check. So 2 stress. And as you there's a moment of just checking yourself down. Other than a heavy fall, there'll probably be a little bit of light bruising that will come up in the next 24 hours, but nothing's broken. Otherwise, you seem to be okay.
I'll keep pressure on my wound and I'll look up at Caroline. Could you help me up?
Yeah, sure. Crow, are you okay up there?
I don't think Crow would quite be able to respond at this moment. I feel like having seen 2 people get separated from him again, I think there's really only one thing going through his mind right now. And that's just one phrase on repeat. Once a sister, always a sister. Once a sister, always a sister. As he kind of holds his head and, underneath the mask, he's like squinching his face and kind of trying to shake it off as he's kind of just stuck almost in the past for a little bit. So he's not going to respond.
However, looking up, you can see the silhouette and the faint glow from behind the lenses of that mask, which, as you look, the light from which seems to diminish inwards and become a little bit more sickly in its color.
Okay. One crisis at a time. What do you need? I have to be honest. I can do stitches. If I just put a rag over the wound, would it be okay?
No, This is fine. We can deal with this later. We gotta get out of here. There was so many rats. It's only a matter of time before they get to us.
Can we...
Bask.
You see
Do,
Dusk.
do I,
There's that big hole with the rat swarm below you. That separates you from Bask at the moment as you see him sitting up. Cracks his neck. Squints through the darkness in your direction. That's going to leave a scar.
how, like, if I do like a, where you kneel and then you help someone up, would that reach to the floor we were at? If I did that with Caroline?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
This is going to be another group action, though, so decide who's leading. Or it's an assisted role.
I lead since this is my idea.
Okay, so you can also assist as well, which will give a +1. You take 1 stress, and it gives +1 to a single dice roll. Whereas obviously, if you do a group action, you take the highest result
yeah.
between you. Says.
Yeah, I'll assist you. Then.
Okay, so Caroline, make me a check with a +1.
So it's a fall, I think. Climbing.
Absolutely.
Risky standard. Oh, no,
Risky
sorry,
standard.
I didn't add the dice. Can I run it again, or we taking this one?
I'd say
Before?
just up to you if you want to take it. You've got the success, but you get to roll another die as well. See if you get 6. So I'd say just make a fortune roll.
Fortune roll. Where are you? You're right.
That's
Yeah.
underneath. Yeah.
Find it. It's the
Oh.
same. It's a 4. It's a.
Yeah. So as you push yourself up, sort of just able to kind of get yourself so your kind of shoulders are over the edge, still just clinging onto the edge of the door frame. You at the feet of Battered Crow, who still has slight distance to them. It's almost like they're not quite aware of you. However, with that and the extra weight that's being put on that floor, Sasha, you feel the floor distinctly bow beneath your feet. And
How fun!
yeah, next time it's falling, it's going into the rat hole. I'm going to say make me a check to get out yourself. This is going to be either jump up and grab whatever you can. Use some kit if you like. So always bear in mind if you do use equipment, then it will, depending on what you're doing and depending on what you're using, then you can always use some extra equipment as well, and that might give you an additional effect, or it might give you a bonus die. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm so aware of my equipment that I didn't realize I had climbing gear. That's fun.
Oh, climbing gear's a standard. Yeah, it's a standard. It seems like grappling hooks, pitons, all that good stuff.
Cool. But yeah, the floor is like bowing under me, right?
It is, yeah. This is an old building. It's damp. There's molds seeping through it, and just the weight of walking on it is unsteady. That extra weight, you hear a few splinters.
Yeah, I'll try to maneuver out of it.
Absolutely, and remember, you can use it if you want to use that climbing gear. That'll give you a bonus die, or it will increase the effect. It's basically a free means of pushing yourself.
Lovely. How many uses armor again? Is it 2 load?
In terms
Is it just
of
1?
armor, or you use both dots for a single use of armor.
Okay. So okay. One, one. I'm just trying to make sure I still have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I just have enough for climbing gear, so I'll pull that out and try to get to the next floor with Caroline.
For sure. I'm going to say, make me a check on that one. As Bust sort of looks up, judging the gap and the way that things have gone his way, isn't quite so viable as you see him take the hooded lantern from his belt and shine it up against a wall which has the brickwork has given way. You see him begin to push loose bricks out, making enough space that he can go around.
Would this be risky standard?
Risky standard, yes.
I'll push myself because I don't want to fail this.
As you make that roll, let's jump back to Battered Crow. Oh, nice. What, as those words resonate in your mind, you're increasingly aware of the footsteps above as the stairs leading upwards over your head begin to creak. As whoever this might be begins to make their own way down.
I think... Ooh. I think at this point, Battered Crow's gonna do something a little desperate here. So, I have a question. I no longer have the skill Wreck. Would I use Subdue to subdue or control in replace of it in the terms of Ghost Ward?
Thanks for your patience there. Sorry about that. I've been having connectivity problems recently, so hopefully that's it for for today, and we can proceed uninterrupted. So yes, to bring us back in that moment, with Battered Crow,
Yes.
what are you doing?
I was asking, since I no longer have the skill Wreck, what skill would I use in replacement for my usage of Ghost Ward?
I'm going to ask.
There's arguments that could be made for Control, Provoke, and Subdue.
Let's have a look at what. I'd say. I'd say Control, as it specifically says, attuned to the ghost field. So, in all likelihood, the
Ghost Ward does not say anything about attuning, because attuning would be Fathom.
So, well,
Ghost Ward specifically says you know how to wreck.
Wreck, okay.
And Control, Provoke, and Subdue are my physical skills, as it were. Or, I mean, if you want to just go completely off book and say
I would-
fathom, I'll take it.
Um, that's obviously much more kind of akin to prowl, it seems.
Fathom.
Possibly sweep.
My physical skills are classified as scorn, that third one. They are not in the same order.
I think those ones still come across as social. Control is attuned to the spirits, whereas provoke is command obedience, force of personality, intimidate or threaten. Subdue, consort with your connections.
No. Subdue, you can't change the descriptions.
Oh, that's why it's saying that. Right, okay.
Subdue is quite literally beating people in the head.
Right, okay. So subdue.
Subdue, violent action to incapacitate a subject, provoke, elicit an emotion in a subject, or produce a response. Control, manage a situation, crowd, or person by direct order, show of force, or intimidation tactics.
I will leave that to your discretion. I'll just say make a roll. Same way we always.
I feel like control makes the most sense, I guess, because I'm attempting
What are you looking to do here?
I'm looking to entice spirits.
Okay.
I'm basically trying to get otherworldly assistance.
And for what kind of aim? How are you looking for them to assist you?
Well, right now I'm just trying to bring them in to make sure there's plenty of them, because the next step is to use one of my items.
Okay.
So risky standard?
Risky standard indeed, yeah.
Alright, well, at least I have... Yeah, let's go. 4. Success with a complication.
Okay. As voices begin to whisper around you, unseen, but as the air drops a few degrees in temperature, and more so from your friends, your own concealed by the mask, but your friends, as they lever themselves up, you see the breath misting in the air in front of them, and something or some things manifest close by, as you don't feel alone anymore.
And can I piggyback off of that with an item?
I'd say so, yes, but I would say that what has come in, while some are benevolent or indifferent, you feel the hairs on the back of your arms and the back of your neck stand on end, as there's something malicious amongst it.
At this point, a little desperate, so it's still not going to change anything. I am going to check off Ritual of Mirror and Bone. Ritual of Mirror and Bone is an item that causes spirits in the infected area to become heavy with electroplasmatic essence, causing them to interact strongly with the physical world rather than weakly. So in other words, these might as well be physical beings now.
I will say, if you're going to use that, it does become a desperate action, but with a greater effect. As whatever is bringing that sense of that heavy anger, that malicious sense, while you can interact with it in a more physical way, it can also interact with you.
Oh yeah, it can.
It's a
Yep.
two-way street, unfortunately. So,
Yep, I'm aware of this, but hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, so now we have a bunch of ghosts that are essentially physical in the area.
absolutely. There's at the moment they yet to manifest, but you can certainly feel those presences, and especially Caroline, that whispers mind, and that intuition. You know roughly where they are. One there, one just behind you. Even forced yet. As yeah, make me that check as you go through whispering strange incantations. Let's see how well this goes. It's not that it will fail, it's just how.
This is definitely Fathom. There's no other way to spin this, knowing how intrinsically things work. So this was going to be a desperate for great effect. Triple fives.
Sorry about that, and welcome back again. Let's jump straight back in. And what are you all doing? As when last we left in, the spirits were beginning to manifest, becoming more and more substantial in the world. Three so far. The two that you look around that seem fairly benevolent take the form of one that you recognize that seems to drift and shed feathers as they do so. The spirit of a one-time crow. Another, evidently somebody from one of the many nearby canals who constantly drips water from their mouth. And another which drags a large fish hook behind them, half of the face caved in, and a burning light in the sole socket that remains.
And I know Caroline's made her way up, but have I? What was that?
As you're sort of at the moment kind of shoulders up, picking yourself up as you look ahead and you see these two heavy boots walk in front of you, following this fish hook that drags across the floor.
And does it look like Battered Crow or Caroline is causing
Neither.
this?
No, neither. This one has the ethereal glow of a spirit.
Oh, so true. Okay.
Battered Crow, Caroline.
Does it seem to be ready to attack?
It's getting ever closer. There's the other two as well, which seem you don't get that same feeling of malevolence from them.
Okay. I think I'm going to use my compel ability to command him to stop where he is.
Right, this will be a desperate action as well.
Okay, so command.
It's this one's a tune, I think.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think you always use it.
That's really for the best. I have no things to command.
You do have yeah, I think it's specifically a tune for Compel.
Yep.
Okay, let's go. It's bad.
Lovely.
Oh,
Could be worse, but it's bad.
Is there... Can I back this up? Because I was essentially going to do the same thing, but obviously I use Fathom.
if you want to make it a group action and decide who's leading, you're taking one stress already, whoever that is.
Yeah, how much stress do you have left, Caroline?
5.
Oh.
Is that how
Wait.
much you have, or?
No, it's how
yeah.
much I have left. I have 4 that are checked.
I have the same,
5.
so it doesn't really matter. I'll take it. So I will throw up Fathom. This is also a desperate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, I will take that. Take that 5.
It pauses where it stands, and the head cracks round at an uncomfortable angle. And unnatural, so it's looking at you, almost like its neck's been broken.
Battered Crow points at the sound of the footsteps.
Almost directly above you, another step, as it comes further down the stairs.
We march.
Are you saying that to the spirit?
Yes.
Like you're telling it to attack?
I'm telling it to attack what I'm pointing at, yes.
As it dissipates and re-emerges. And reforms almost behind you as it continues that path, dragging the hook behind it. And it begins to advance as you hear a voice. That complication as a voice in the darkness above you has something of a familiarity to it. Who's there? As the spirit begins to advance up the stairs, just letting out this guttural, croaky groan.
What's familiar about you
You recognize the voice.
as?
It sounds like there's a choking tone to it, almost like there's something caught in their throat. But sounds familiar to Hestia.
kind of I think Battered Crow would start to make their way up towards the sound as well.
As you round the corner, the spirits closing the distance between them, you see Hestia. The eyes almost blinded by the blood that flows from them. Her once well-pressed suit now spattered with blood, mud, dust, and torn. And underneath it, her belly is somewhat swollen. She reaches forward, steadily making her way down the stairs as the spirit edges ever closer. Who's there?
I do not intervene in what's about to happen. I think Crow would understand the quote-unquote symptoms, and at this point, there is a bit of sadness, a bit of pity, but what needs to be done needs to be done.
As the spirit groans once again and swings. Blood congeals almost in the air with raw plasm, which burns away as Hestia instinctively holds her hand up to her throat as blood begins to flow between her fingers down, staining the suit even more. As she falls back, and you all of it hear the heavy thud as she falls a couple of steps down.
As I hear the thud, I ask, has the threat been neutralized? Looking at.
She's at the moment lying on the stairs, gasping for air.
Coming through from the mask, there's a little bit of a hiss. Her name was Hestia.
You knew her?
Yes. She was, I don't want to say a friend. She was part of a crew known as the Nameless. You probably can't tell because of the mask, but there is a certain sideways glance over towards Caroline. We worked together on a couple of occasions. I can't say I knew her all that well, however.
As the breaths, the breaths become shallower, sharper, until they stop entirely.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm sorry for your loss.
Do you know if she has relatives? Or if people she cared about to do one.
I'm trying to remember if...
She had a family. They were.
Yeah, I know. Me as a player knows that, but I don't know how much Nathan honestly knew. I think Nathan knew though about her family. She was.
I think so.
I believe they were from Coleridge. To my understanding, she was quite close with them, and while I don't have any names or anything, I understand they were, or I came to the understanding that they were quite numerous. But beyond that, I don't have any ideas.
I mean, it won't hurt to look at what we can find later. She was not from here, right? What was her thing? She's, I don't know. What was her part in your group? Could she have a reason to be here? Or do you think it's just a coincidence?
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Livespark. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter.
You've heard the silent song.
We all have the legend, the curses.
Some foolishness about a world as it was meant to be.
A city of ghosts.
An illusion that you can begin again.
How much would you give for silence?